make sure that you off the top know about is we're still tracking that next front that brings in storms. Tomorrow evening, and some could be reaching strong to severe weather limits. So that's going to be the big weather story for us going into the end of this week. The pattern after that front and the rain becomes colder with some flurries this weekend. This morning, areas of reduced visibilities, mainly around half of a mile of visibility for several locations in the central and the eastern UP. Dense fog advisories until 11 a.m., but that mixes back out into the atmosphere by late morning. We're looking at sunny conditions for your afternoon, upper 60s to potentially a couple of 70-degree readings along the Wisconsin state line, and our shorelines will still be above normal in some areas. We're trending in the 50s. We'll talk a little bit more about that severe weather risk in a couple of minutes. Mandy, the risk of some potential for severe storms will be the western half of the UP, including portions of the central counties. So the green area, that's a marginal risk, a level 1 for some isolated strong to severe storms. The big severe weather risk, though, extends over in Wisconsin, down into Iowa, and over into Missouri. That's a level 3, an enhanced risk for more widespread severe storms in those areas, not the UP. For us, ours is more isolated to a couple potentially reaching severe weather limits. This morning, some scattered rain showers winding down south of the UP across the lower peninsula as the system's exiting the region. Our next front's coming in for tomorrow evening. There it is, 7 p.m., bringing in those storms. We'll talk about the hazards and of the first alert to rainfall potential with this in about 10 minutes. Thursday morning, here's what you need to know about the next cold front. We are still tracking a line of thunderstorms with this front tomorrow evening extending into Saturday. Now, first alerting you to the potential hail as well as some strong damaging winds. There's still a flooding risk with this as well because of heavier downpours that could occur with some of the stronger storms. So it's going to be a high impact. This is how it's trending right now. It will likely adjust going into tomorrow, but this is where we're at. The Storm Prediction Center has a marginal risk for most of the western and central half of the UP and a slight risk in the yellow along the Wisconsin state line for a few strong to severe storms that could produce hail as well as some damaging winds. So did set that more at a moderate risk and a high risk for heavy rainfall. It's not super for a tornadic risk, but there is an isolated chance for a quick little spin up there on the leading edge of it along the Wisconsin state line. That potential does exist. Here's your hour by hour for Friday. We start off with relatively quiet weather, some sunshine, clouds increase, the winds increase as well. Out of the south, gusts of 25 to 35. By the evening, early evening, the line of storms starts to come in across the western UP, and then it slowly tracks into the central counties going into the overnight time period. This is 11 p.m. west and central counties. And then eventually it pushes east as it continues to weaken. So we'll still have a few rain showers in the east early Saturday morning, and that's really it. We do have colder weather that will quickly follow the front. So we do have a drop off in temperatures with some flurries developing behind the front. So a few snow showers possible, staying cold and below the normal on Saturday. So as far as rainfall amounts, a range easily half of an inch, but some of our western locations could push upwards of 3/4 of an inch to about an inch of rainfall with some of these. Now, we still have flood watches in effect for the central and the eastern counties of the UP. Several rivers are still under flood warnings, so we have to continue to monitor the potential of more flooding continuing to occur here. When we couple the snow melt because of the warm conditions today and tomorrow, as well as the storms that'll be rolling through tomorrow evening into tomorrow night. Currently, Menominee at Vulcan is at 16.9, 19.5 feet for the Menominee River at McAllister, and they're at moderate to major risk categories. This morning, it's foggy to start off, but it mixes out by midday and we'll get some sunshine. Upper 60s in most interior western locations, isolated 70-degree readings possible along the Wisconsin state line, 50s along some of our shorelines, so a little bit cooler there, but overall, going to be a relatively warmer one today as well as tomorrow before the colder air returns